this is Cathy Cassidy with my sidekick Ziggy, who is just out mooching around the garden. I'm just going to let her go and wander, and the dogs might just waft across the background or they might not, because they just sort of do what they want, which is fine. And I thought today what I would like to do is read you chapter 16 of Scarlett. So Ziggy's just gone behind me, so she may appear in the screen or she may not, we'll have to see. So chapter 16. Next morning I load my fluffy rucksack with apples, fairy cakes, pencils and sketchbook, along with a striped picnic blanket. I'm going down to the loch to start my project, I tell Dad and Claire. Okay, I'll walk Holly to the bus. Dad looks like he is about to argue, but Claire chips in. Just give her some space, she says. It's what she needs. Dad takes a deep breath in. Fine, he says. Don't go too far now, Scarlett, and don't be late. I open the door onto freedom. Wish I could be homeschooled too, Holly sighs as we walk along the lane. Fairy cakes and drawing all day long. You're so lucky. Nah, it's still school, isn't it? I argue. Boring. Unless Kian puts in an appearance, of course. Then things could get a whole lot more interesting. I'm bad news, I tell Holly. Wild, weird, unteachable. That's what Miss Madden thinks. No, Holly corrects me. You're cool. I want to be just like you. Yeah, well, you're nuts, I laugh. The red and white school bus looms up amongst the fuchsia hedges. Don't say bad stuff about yourself, Holly tells me seriously. I think you're great. You're not so bad yourself, I admit, as she climbs up onto the bus. Just don't tell anyone I said so. The bus trundles off with Holly waving and pulling tongues from the back seat, and I walk on down the lane, duck into the quiet green world of the woods, and find the path to the loch. I want to stay a while, wrapped in silence, the way the trees and rocks and ground beneath my feet are wrapped in moss and ivy and soft green lichen. I leave the woods and settle down beneath the hazel tree, spreading the striped picnic blanket across the grass. I open my sketchbook and draw a tall foxglove with furry leaves and purple bell-shaped flowers up and down the stem. I've actually got a foxglove just behind me. I wonder if I can... Yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay. Purple bell-shaped flowers up and down the stem. When you look inside, the petals are pale and speckled. I need paints or crayons to show it properly, but I make my pencil sketch as accurate as I can. The sun is warm and I close my eyes for a moment to soak up the heat. When I open them again, the loch seems dusted with silver. There's a crunch of twigs just behind me, and rough, warm hands slide over my eyes, blotting out the light. Guess who? My heart does some kind of double backflip. Kian. Been watching you for a while, he says, lifting his hands away and flopping down beside me. I can't help stealing a sneaky glance at him, and I end up getting snagged by the blue-black eyes, the raggedy hair. I let a few strands of ketchup-coloured hair fall across my face, hiding my smile. Midnight is drifting across the grass to my left, flicking his tail about in the sunshine. So, you're drawing plants, Kian asks. What for? It's a project I'm doing, I explain. About Loch Coil, the woods and the loch and the hillside and the hazel tree. Not just drawings, but research, history, maps, everything. Nightmare, Kian says. How can you put a place like Loch Coil on paper? I'm going to try, I tell him. Dad and Claire are trying this whole homeschooling thing. It's got to be better than hanging out with a bunch of little kids anyhow. Sure, but school is school, Kian argues, grabbing my hand and dragging me to my feet. Come on, let's cut class. Live dangerously. I stuff my sketchbook into my backpack and abandon the striped blanket to scramble up beside Kian on Midnight's back. The big black horse snorts and shakes his head, and then we're off, galloping down the loch side, our hair streaming out behind us, our hands woven tightly into midnight's mane. It feels like I've never moved so fast, felt so happy. My face is stretched into a grin a mile wide as the air whooshes past. Kian's arms are around me, and all the time Midnight pounds along, his mane flying, his hooves thumping the grass, his black coat shining like silk. By the time we come to a halt, a while later, back beside the wishing tree, I feel so strong, so alive, I might as well just have flown to the moon and back. That was amazing, I say to Kian. Seriously, that was the best, the scariest. Kian puts a finger to my lips. Knew you'd like it, he grins. But right now we have to find some shelter. See those clouds on the hills beyond the loch? There's rain coming, and soon. But it's sunny, I argue. There's no way. But when I squint at the distant hills, I see clouds I never even noticed before, trailing a soft grey mist. It rolls down the hillside towards us, blurring the purple-green heather. What will we do? I panic. We're going to get soaked. It's only rain, Kian says. It's just nature, right? What's the problem? We slide down from Midnight's back, and Kian grabs up the striped picnic blanket and pulls it around us like a cloak, draping it over our heads. The rain hits then, a wall of grey sliding over us, chasing the light away. Crazy, I protest, shivering. How can things change that fast? Is it because of the hills or something? Maybe. Sometimes you can just smell it in the air. Everything perfect, and then the storm hits. Story of my life, I say. My hair is dripping and rivulets of rain slide down my face. Kian looks at me sidelong beneath the dripping blanket. Change isn't bad, he says to me. Stuff happens. You have to accept it, adapt. I was happy, I argue. So be happy again. It's not that easy, I say. It is that easy, Kian grins. Really, try it. I look at Kian, his lips slightly parted, the smell of wild mint on his breath. For one split second, I have the strongest urge to reach over and kiss him. But abruptly he drops the blanket and I'm draped in cold, soggy wool, squealing and yelling and chasing him down to the water's edge, where Midnight is standing. The big black horse looks like he just walked out of the water. His coat gleams and he raises his face to the storm, breath steaming. Then the rain cloud slides past and the sun reappears. As if by magic, a perfect slice of rainbow appears on the hillside. You don't get many rainbows in London. I know the science, of course. Sunlight and rain create a prism of light, all the colours of the spectrum. It's just that I've never seen one quite like this before. It arches over the hill, chasing away everything sad and dull and ordinary, making you believe in miracles. Wow, I whisper. That's Connemara, Kian shrugs. Sun, rain, rainbows, all in the space of 5 minutes. Storms and sunshine, darkness and light. It's beautiful, I whisper. Kian grins at me. It is, of course, he says. We are silent for a long while, and somewhere in the silence, Kian finds my hand and holds it tight. We huddle at the edge of the loch, eating apples and damp fairy cakes, watching the rainbow fade. So that was chapter 16, and I hope you've been entertained by the sight of Ziggy just kind of prowling about and crunching through the undergrowth behind me. I think she's really funny. There she is. Ziggy, hello. She's a crazy dog, and she loves poking about where she shouldn't be. Anyway, again, I think Safia from India had asked if she could see my dogs, and definitely Ziggy has complied with that wish today. I hope you've enjoyed the chapter. Please do tune in again tomorrow. I might not risk being outside tomorrow. I might try and record one indoors because it's a little bit safer than, being upstaged by collared doves and wood pigeons and marauding dogs. But I hope you are enjoying the story and having a little bit of 10-minute escapism from your lockdown day. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you for sticking with the story, and thank you very, very much to all of you who take the time out to just leave a little comment or a little message for me on the YouTube channel. It means the world to me. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care until then.